family!
Welcome back to our channel, guys.
What? Hey, Ace family!
Welcome back to our channel, guys.
Hey, Ace family!
Welcome back to our channel, guys.
Hey, Ace family!
Welcome back to our channel, guys.
What's going on, everybody? Ooh, look at my hair.
No.
Good thing I don't have to. No, I'm gonna say it. Good thing I don't have to be on camera today.
Okay.
God.
There's something unsettling about that family, and then the fact that they just always cover it up and just not be like, I don't know. I think she left it in on purpose.
My hair looks fucked up. I will not film like this. So just go.
Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Ace family! Welcome back to our channel, guys.
Austin McBroom of YouTube's Ace Family slams rape allegation.
We know their house got foreclosed. We knew that he has been cheating on her, but now we finally have Catherine admitting to it all. Austin had cheated on Catherine with 20 women.
Are you guys the Ace family?
Not the Ace family anymore, but thank you so much. No, I'm playing. You want a picture? A picture?
Austin McBroom, Catherine McBroom. Together, them and their 3 kids are the Ace Family YouTube channel, the original pioneer of family channels on YouTube. Unfortunately, we have them to blame. One of the highest paid YouTube channels and the highest paid family channel in the world at one point. The Ace family has always been really relevant in the media for maybe like the last 6 years or so. But if you don't recognize them, maybe these headlines might help jog your memory. YouTube star Austin McBroom outed as racist. Austin McBroom of YouTube's Ace family denies rape allegation. Dad catches backlash after buying sexual lollipop for toddler. James Harden sues Austin McBroom to recover losses from flopped TikTok versus YouTube boxing event. The Ace family lost ownership of their $10 million mansion and could face eviction. Catherine and Austin McBroom of the Ace family announce their divorce. And most recently, my husband cheated on me with 20 women. After Austin's now ex-wife Catherine McBroom wrote a biography about herself and went on a Call Her Daddy podcast episode, doing a tell-all to promote said biography, where she kind of just ended up ranting about Austin for maybe 45 minutes of it, which thank you, sis, because we have all been wondering what the is going on behind the scenes with Austin McBroom outside of the Ace Family YouTube channel. But even if you don't know who Austin McBroom is, then it's good that you're watching this video because you are going to learn a lot about him. You're actually going to learn everything about him. You're going to learn everything that you need to know about Austin McBroom, because today, on this fine day, I am presenting y'all with a super ultra deep, super ultra nosy celebrity deep dive on everything that you need to know about Austin McBroom from the Ace family, which will now be a monthly series on my channel where I just stalk some random celebrity every single month. Online, virtually stalk, not real stalk, that's a little creepy, but virtually stalk a celebrity every single month until I find enough on them to create an entire documentary on YouTube. So comment down below who I should virtually stalk next. Hey y'all, it's Mariana and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about pop culture, trending topics, and sometimes, most times, sometimes social media scandals. So, life update with me, I got bangs. I don't know how I feel about them. I'm looking, I don't know. I don't know. In my mind, I had Tyla in my mind, make me sweat, make me water. But now that it's actually on my head, I feel like I'm giving maybe Cabbage Patch Kid. Comment what you think of my haircut. Please don't be mean. I can't do it today. Summer is almost here. Summer is almost hither, and that means that I will actually lock the fuck in this time with making weekly videos twice a week. I hope that y'all are ready for a fun summer vacation with lots of new content, lots of new videos, lots of new ideas, lots of new trending topics. If you have not subscribed already, then smash subscribe because y'all do not want to miss what I have coming this summer, especially not these celebrity deep dive documentaries. I spend a lot of time on them, and they're really fun to make because I always uncover something insane. Now, let's get into it. My coffee is pink today. So, like I did in my James Charles YouTube video, I have crafted a timeline. I call it the Ace timeline. This is a complete and detailed timeline of every single scandal that Austin McBroom has ever been involved in. This video is also just focusing on Austin McBroom. It's not going to be focused on like Catherine McBroom, but I'm still going to give y'all a good background on all of the key players to this story. I'm also going to give a very light trigger warning here because I do have to discuss something regarding SA. One of these controversies involves SAing somebody. It is a timestamp section down below so that if y'all don't want to listen about SA, feel free to skip past it. That's why I put timestamps in. Most of Austin McBroom's behavior compared to James Charles, most of Austin McBroom's controversies is just like ridiculous. Like it's like laughable how ridiculous it is. It's not like, of course these things are serious accusations and like scams and crimes and felonies, but it's just like ridiculous. Like come on, man. Like who are you fooling? Like scam after scam after scam after scam after lie after lie after lie.
In this program, I'll be teaching 4 courses.
So I'm pretty much just going to be clowning him throughout this entire documentary. So let's start with the most basic question that I feel like most people who weren't really on YouTube in 2016 to 2019, or maybe just weren't into watching the family vlogger channels during those years. The question that most people would ask, who is the Ace family? Catherine, Austin, and the Ace family channel explained briefly. Alright, so let's start with Catherine McBroom. So Catherine's real name is Dolores Catherine Paiz. I think that I'm saying that right, Paiz. She's currently 34 years old, born in 1990 in Montreal, Canada. She is also a Latina because her parents are from Panama. However, they are Canadian, and while she was born and raised in Canada, it makes her Canadian Latina like me. Wow, oh my god. Basically, Catherine McBroom. Catherine graduated high school around 2008-2009. And after high school, she actually moved to China for a year. She lived in Shenyang, China in 2010 for a whole year. And while she was there, she was tutoring English, French, and Spanish as she is trilingual. I want to stress that the sis was smart. Sister is smart. To tutor 3 different languages in China, where their education system is already so advanced, is pretty remarkable, to be honest. At 19, 20 years old? When she came back from China, her family wanted to move from Montreal to Miami, Florida. While she was in Miami, she worked as a VIP manager at a club called Arcadia Miami. She was also a hedge fund manager, which is a little sus in my opinion because hedge fund manager is like the most scammy profession that you could possibly, like, because there's a really common scam, y'all, where people will approach you and they'll say like, oh, we have a job for you. It's a hedge fund manager, and they like pay you money in cash. Just Google hedge fund manager job scam. You also need like years and years and years of experience working like in finance with different types of investments in order to manage a hedge fund. So I'm a little like, something tells me that might have been like a little bit of a scam, to be honest. The hedge fund manager job, that's kind of okay. So there is a rumor about Catherine McBroom going around on the internet that she moved to Los Angeles by herself when she was 16 years old and supported herself. That is not true. She actually didn't move to Los Angeles until she was 22, turning 23 years old in 2013. And that is because she went to pursue modeling and acting. So this was well after she graduated high school, well after she had already worked in China for a year, after she had already worked as a full-time VIP manager in Miami. So while she was living in Los Angeles, she did like a little bit of bikini modeling. There were again some rumors of her working with Victoria's Secret. I personally could not find any public record of her actually shooting with Victoria's Secret. I did find pictures of her working with a independent swimwear brand in Los Angeles, as well as an acting portfolio. Lillian's Brood in 2016, Monday Nights at 7 also in 2016, and You Can't Have It in 2017. During this time in LA, she also briefly dated Michael B. Jordan, who everyone loves. Everyone loves Michael B. Jordan. We love a good Michael B. Jordan. Shout out to Hollister for my top.
And shout out to Michael B. Jordan because he's going to be taking it off of me tonight.
But in 2015, at a party, that is when she met her former husband, Austin McBroom. She's told the story a million times on her channel and also on the Call Her Daddy podcast, but basically what happened was they were both at like this party and she had been like staring him down because she was wondering why the hell he came to a party literally alone and standing there talking to nobody. So he went up to her, he talked to her, she gave him her number. I guess they texted like once and then months went by, they didn't talk. Out of nowhere, months later, Austin texted her and was like, "Do you like sushi?" And she was like, "No." And he was like, "Well, good thing I got us reservations at Nobu tonight." Nobu Malibu, which is, for the y'all that don't know, it's a very high-end sushi restaurant. It's like $35 for like a California roll. He took her out on their first date. And apparently, halfway through the date, Catherine had realized in that very moment on their first date that this was the man that she was destined to be with. This was going to be the father of her children. And according to her, it was because he kept opening the door for her. He had general manners, and he asked her how many kids that she wanted on the first date. So those were like the 3 green flags. So that's why Catherine really loved him at first. I'm not even going to say my opinion. Austin McBroom, currently 32 years old, born in 1992, therefore 2 years younger actually than Catherine, which is very surprising because she looks very young. I did not know she was 34. I honestly thought, I know she's been on the internet for a long time, but y'all, she literally looks like young as hell. She looks like, I thought maybe 25, 26. Austin, however, acts 12. So his age doesn't surprise me. Austin's younger brother, Landon McBroom, who you may recognize, well, you probably won't, but there's a small chance that you might recognize him from his own family vlogging channel with his now ex-girlfriend Shyla, who is an entirely different story, y'all, because a lot happened between Austin's brother Landon and Shyla, and it resulted in an hour-long rant video from Shyla exposing Landon and talking about Catherine and Austin. I don't care to get into that right now in this video, because if I do, this video would be 2.5 hours long. So we're going to stick to Austin McBroom, but comment below if you would like a full deep dive on the entire McBroom family. Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna get smacked. I feel like if I ever run into these people that I make these deep dives on in person, I'm gonna literally get bitch slapped. So I'm gonna actually try to be nicer. So Austin's parents divorced when they were very young. So Austin's dad, his name is Alan, and his current wife, her name is Erica McBroom. When Austin was in college, he played NCAA D1 basketball. I don't know what position, I'm not that good with basketball, but he played at 3 different universities. Central Michigan University from 2011 to 2012, St. Louis University from 2013 to 2015, and Eastern Washington University from 2015 to 2016 season. One thing that doesn't make sense to me is he graduated in 2015, and we know that by an Instagram post that he shared in November of 2020 saying exactly 5 years ago he graduated university. First of all, who graduates in November? Second of all, how are you graduating in 2015 when you are listed on Eastern Washington University's NCAA roster for the 2016 basketball season? So I don't really know, like maybe his math is just wrong. Maybe he like doesn't own a calendar, because I don't, how do you graduate in November, middle of the semester in like the winter, okay? So he had met Catherine McBroom at a party in 2015 while he was finishing his last year of university. 2 months into when they started dating, also I believe in 2015, mid 2015, that is when Catherine had become pregnant with their first child. 2 months into them dating, she had been pregnant with their first child, who is now named Elle McBroom, who was born on May 28th, 2016. And just a couple of months after Catherine gave birth to Elle, that is when Austin started their family channel, the Ace Family, which is a combination of all of their initials. A for Austin, C for Catherine, E for Elle, Ace Family. The Ace Family channel were pioneers for the YouTube family channel genre. They pretty much like invented family vlogging. They grew 18 million subscribers their first 2.5 years on YouTube and amassed over 4 billion views on their channel. Family channel vlogging is always controversial because there's always going to be moments in the family vlog where the child is a little bit more vulnerable, a little more exposed. I don't know any other family vlogging channels because I don't watch and support family vlogging channels. I actually block family vlogging channels. Screw you, family vlogging channels. But anyways, family channel vlogs are already kind of like frowned upon because you also don't want to be putting your child's image online without their consent. They had some really weird videos on their channel, and looking back at it in 2025, I'm like, why would anybody ever make a video like this? They had videos on their channel like introducing potty training, like teaching their child how to potty train, where it's like videos of her on the potty, baby stuck in a ball pit, mommy and daddy prank the baby, baby covered in 1 million M&Ms, do you have to go poo-poo, toilet vlog, baby's not scared of a python snake, baby reacts to daddy twerking. Their most popular videos of all time on their channel was the best proposal of all time, where Austin officially proposed to Catherine by jumping out of a plane and proposing to her via vlog. So this was 7 years ago, and this got 41 million views, this proposal. After this one video was like a shift in the Ace Family channel's content. Because before it was a little more wholesome, it was creepy, it was weird, it was like you're exposing your entire life. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't be so judgmental. Before it was like a little bit odd, like it was like the first family vlogging channel. They were exposing a lot of things about their life and also about their baby. But after this proposal video where they got 41 million views, I think that they might have made like literally, y'all, like over $1 million off of this proposal video. And that is really where you can see a huge change in the Ace Family content. Luxury car collection, house hunting for $1 million houses, extreme 24-hour night at the Sky High trampoline park. You won't believe what we did with this golf cart. Coming home to a surprise G-Wagon. Their content was like a lot more like studio professional grade content. Like even the thumbnails got way more professional after this. Their channel at their peak was making over $1 million a month just in AdSense. Manifest that for me. I'll donate it to you. I'll split it with you. If y'all like this video and I make $1 million in AdSense, I will split it with all of y'all. Following this was their second most popular video of all time. The official Ace Family labor and delivery with 33 million views. That's when things started to get a little too far for the Ace Family channel.
This is really happening. Like I don't know if this is a dream. Like if I should wake up. Yeah, it's really happening. It's time, Ace Family. It's time. Guys, if you don't got any snacks at home, go leave the house real quick. Do whatever you gotta do. Call an Uber, pick up some snacks, get some popcorn, and tune in, guys, because it's about to happen. It's about to happen. Catherine now has on her labor hat.
In case you missed what is going on, although I don't know how, he is vlogging her entire delivery and childbirth while she is literally in labor. But in 2018, only 2 years after they started their YouTube channel, that is when things started to go downhill for Austin McBroom, and that is where we get his first of many controversies / scandals / felonies. We may now start with the Ace timeline with 2018. Starting 2018 off strong, we have racist tweets. So old tweets from 2011 to 2013 on Austin McBroom's old Twitter account were resurfacing in 2018, where he made some really disgusting comments about black women. Some of the offensive tweets included statements like, "If you like 'em nice, ratchet, black with the cheeks without morals, the city of St. Louis is for you," and "Can't do black girls 'cause after I'm done, I'ma have to pay for their hair. Michigan black chicks make California black chicks look like beauty queens. Blondes with blue eyes were more appealing to him after being scared away from black women, despite being half black himself." Which is always a red flag. I've always heard that if they hate their own race, that is a large red flag, because that usually means that they do not respect their own mother. If they don't respect their own mother, how are they going to respect you? 2013, by the way, I know that seems like we were all young in 2013, but in 2013, Austin was 19, turning 20 years old. So these were things that he was saying when he was entering his 20s. He didn't make these like comments when he was like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. He made these comments when he was literally an adult. Later in 2018, they released an app called the Ace app. So it was an app that you had to buy, and in exchange for buying their Ace app, you were promised exclusive Ace Family content. People could get exclusive videos, exclusive merch if you just pay the low price of $3 per month for the Ace app. So this Ace Family VIP app was almost never updated, and they almost never posted on it. I believe they posted on it once at launch and then never updated it again. Yet it still charged buyers $3 per month, every month reoccurring, and a lot of people were saying that they had trouble canceling their subscription, or that the app interface wasn't working and it wasn't loading, so they couldn't cancel their subscription. Nobody ever got refunded for the Ace app scam. When the Ace app was released, they also released in 2018 the Ace Club. So you have the Ace VIP app, And now you have the Ace VIP Club. So the Ace VIP Club is basically the same thing as the Ace Family app, except the Ace Club was a website version of the app. So it was the exact same thing that the Ace app promised: exclusive merch, exclusive content, exclusive drops, updates, again like a Patreon before Patreon existed. But this time it was $20 per month. This was a scam. Because as soon as it launched, within about a month, they actually took the website down for what they called maintenance issues because it kept crashing. But here's the thing, when they took the website down, they forgot to let people cancel their membership. So people who had paid for like this pre-authorized monthly $20 a month thing for the Ace Club were still getting charged $20 every month, but there was no website anymore. The website was gone. It was removed. After like, what, a few months online, they removed the website and continued to charge everybody who signed up $20 a month and then never refunded anybody. Ever. The Ace family then blamed this, not on themselves, but on the developers of the website. So Austin McBroom came onto live and addressed the situation and said, so you guys got scammed?
Some of you guys have asked what has happened with the Ace Club when we were doing exclusive content with the Ace Club. And unfortunately, the people that we partnered with in that adventure, they end up, I don't really like to talk negatively, but they just weren't good partners. They end up unfortunately scamming us, and it kind of like hurt us in a way because in reality, like, you guys got scammed.
I hate to say it, but yeah, you guys got scammed. But not by us, not by me, by the developers of the Ace website. It was the developers' fault. They stole all of your money and they stole all of my money and we all got scammed together. So that was really just the tip of the iceberg for Austin McBroom. Now we move on to the much more disturbing year, 2019. And this, by the way, is the section that I put the trigger warning for. This is the reason that I have a trigger warning in the video. So in 2019, a beauty vlogger named Cole Kerrigan posted a video on YouTube accusing Austin McBroom of essaying one of his friends in a Miami yacht. He made this really long YouTube video and he said that he was coming forward for his friend who was essayed by Austin McBroom at a yacht party, and also gave us all the receipts and all the screenshots and the text messages with Austin. So he invited a bunch of his friends from Miami, I assume a bunch of his basketball friends because I know there were some basketball players there, along with his father. And then just like a bunch of random Insta baddies were also there for some reason. Everyone was getting wasted. And there were two girls who were very, very drunk at the yacht party. So basically, okay, I'm not gonna go super into details, but basically,
one of my friends was texting back and forth with Austin about their trip to Miami and what girls that she should bring with her for him. I'm gonna put up the screenshots right here of her sending pictures of the girl to Austin and him replying with that. Here's another one. Here is another one. Here is the next message of them talking about the address and if she had packed, yada yada yada, talking about the private jet. So now I'm gonna also insert a screenshot between my friend and Austin's assistant of her saying that they are here and a link for the yacht that they were on. And then here's also a screenshot of the link that was sent so you guys know it was for a yacht. I'm gonna insert a picture right here of Austin and his dad together at Liv the night before this happened, so you guys have proof that the dad was there on the trip. After they all had been drinking, my two friends went back to their room to go change because the sun was setting, and that's when Austin, the security guard, the father, and two other guys came into their room.
So we start taking our bathing suits off and we turn the shower on and we're both naked, and all of a sudden I hear the door open and it's Austin McBroom, and he's just like, oh hey, like what are you guys doing? You know, like just being really flirty, and then he like comes and starts like rubbing on my arm and then just talking to us, and then before I know it, one of his like basketball player friends comes in the room too and is like trying to do the same thing, touching us. As we're naked, we're literally naked, and you know, we're not like pushing them off because we're so drunk, we're really not even capable of like pushing them off of us. The next thing I remember is looking up and Austin's dad, Alan, is there, and I am seeing him unbuckle his pants, pull down his pants, and pull out his penis in front of my face.
Disgusting, disgusting, and also incest? Why are you, like, that's disgusting. Your son is right there. Cole then teased the release of the video he was making with a bunch of tweets on Twitter, to which back then like a drama YouTuber, his name was Keemstar. Keemstar then reached out to Cole Kerrigan. I actually have never really seen a Keemstar video, but I know that he's like a little more controversial and he's gotten himself in a lot of hot water. But Keemstar basically would break like these, he's kind of like Spilly, I think. Like back in the day, he was like Spilly, where he would like break these like big trending celebrity dramas and stuff that would happen. So Keemstar reached out to Cole Kerrigan And he wanted to interview Cole and the victim so that he could break a story about everything that happened with Austin and Alan on this yacht party where these two women got SA'd. Austin responded to this by tweeting on Twitter saying, "If you have not heard, I recently have been a victim of extortion, defamation, and slander. I knew this was a cold world, but never did I foresee something this disturbing upon me." Way to make it all about yourself. Thank you to all my ACE family members for all of your concerns, and thank you to those who know my character and know my heart. I don't wish this upon anyone, and I can only hope that those responsible for this learn from their mistakes and become better people. Bullying, extortion, slander, and defamation of character is something I will not stand for, and I can promise that justice will be served. So in the same post, he also screenshotted Leslie Hannah Bell's post on Instagram. So Leslie was one of the two girls that were on this yacht. So Leslie had made a post saying, "To speak on this video that Cole Kerrigan posted, some of you have already figured out that I'm the other girl they're talking about in the video. I feel like this video was made for the wrong reasons, and this wasn't Cole's story to tell. Cole even texted me saying we could potentially get paid $100,000 from this, following the claim that Drama Alert was paid off $500,000. I wasn't aware Amanda or Cole were in contact with Drama Alert to anonymously run our story, but I was aware of Cole's video being made, and I only wanted it to be factual if it was ever going to be posted. I wanted to say that Austin McBroom is not to blame in this situation, and did not R me or anyone. I'm currently handling the situation in my own way. I brought this to social media to address the false accusations. This isn't what I wanted. There's several sides to every story, and this isn't how I wanted to tell mine." So that really ruined Cole's credibility, as well as the victim's credibility too. However, Catherine McBroom, in her Call Her Daddy episode, confirmed that this yacht orgy party did in fact happen. She was cheated on at that party, and she got confirmation from a friend of hers whose husband was on the yacht party.
I had just had my daughter, my second daughter. She was about 6 months old or something. And he was like, "Hey, I have to go to Miami for a meeting." And I go, please. And I'm the type of partner where I love for my partner to feel free. Like, I trust you. Go. You want to go on a trip? You want to go on a boys trip? Whatever you want to do, go. Like, that's just my personality. He called me quite a few times where I felt like, you're calling me a little too much. Like, I was just like, I don't know. Like, it's okay. Go have fun, you know? And he pocket dialed me accidentally. And I heard women in the back. There were a couple women. And I thought, okay, well, I guess my husband's hanging out with women. Yeah. I'm thinking, whatever. Hung up the phone, continued my day. A couple of months go by, and this blonde male makeup artist makes this video on YouTube talking about my husband and how he was in Miami, and there was this group of people, and there was all these girls, and there was this boat. I was pregnant in that moment. And I remember bawling and thinking, is this true? And even if it's not true, why are people saying this? This is like so detailed and like.
Did you ever get confirmation if the infamous yacht orgy happened?
Yes, I actually did.
And that was when he butt dialed you that weekend?
That was that weekend, yeah.
How did you get confirmation?
Through a friend who's married to a guy that was physically there.
Wow.
Yeah.
What we didn't know back then was at this time, Austin McBroom had actually been paying people off. He would pay these people off, allegedly, to basically just completely sell out and say that everything was all lies, it was all made up, they were wrong, and it never happened. And this was also confirmed in Catherine's Call Her Daddy episode when she said that she would check the bank account and notice hundreds of thousands of dollars would be missing randomly, and Austin would have no explanation as to where these hundreds of thousands of dollars had gone, with multiple sources also saying that they were paid off hundreds of thousands of dollars from Austin. So because of the whole SA scandal, even though it kind of got like blown over in the media, people were still painting Austin as a little bit more of a creep. I feel like people were kind of like focused on maybe this guy is a little bit creepy. Around this time, a lot of compilation videos were coming out about the way that he was touching his daughter and his wife in his YouTube videos. I hesitate to put the compilation videos or any of the footage in this video because I feel like it's just, frankly, it's just like kind of disgusting and disturbing. I don't really want to see a grown man touch his little daughter's butt again and again and again. This got a lot of views and it went really viral too. And then people started like being like, oh my God, wait, maybe he is a little bit creepy. Cause like, look at the way he's touching his daughter. Look at the way he's acting around his wife. Look at how creepy he's being on camera. And then later in 2019, he had actually vlogged himself taking his little daughter Elle into a sex store and then bought her a lollipop shaped like a dick and then let her eat it on camera while filming her. That is disgusting. How do you not see a problem with that? How do you not? How? And like what's really ironic to me is in his Q&A, he said that his worst fear was his daughter growing up to be used by men.
Do you have any fears, Yall? I mean I do, but she's too young right now.
Okay, yeah.
We don't want
to think about that right now.
Yeah, everybody should know my fear of trifling men out there.
So that's...
But don't worry about that.
Yet he puts a genitalia shaped candy in her mouth and films it for strangers to watch on the internet. Put yourself in the shoes of your inner child for a second. How disgusting would that be to be brought into a sex store by your own parents and then be given a genitalia shaped lollipop? Y'all can Google that video yourself. I'm definitely not going to be putting that in my video. That's just disgusting and weird. If y'all want to look it up, feel free to look it up. I'm not going to be showing that footage in my cute little video on my cute little channel. I don't need that disgusting filth on my name. Throughout 2019, they had also been vlogging the construction of their new house, the Ace family multi-million-dollar mansion, which costed a total of $10 to $15 million, according to Austin McBroom, to build. This was a massive, massive house in Woodland Hills, California, and it was actually two houses conjoined together to form a mega mansion looking out over the hills. In a vlog posted on September 2nd, 2019, titled The Ace Family Official House Tour, finally, Austin rides a jet ski back and forth in the pool in his house, where you can see literally all the water splashing repeatedly over top of the side of the pool, and then in a brief shot you can see that it's all leaking over the wall and creating a pond below their pool. Austin actually caused like thousands of dollars in damage for the houses below him because he was splashing all of this water off the side, and it was causing a mudslide which wiped out a working class family's grape garden or something that they had. It was like a mini like vineyard farm that they had. Woodland Hills isn't Beverly Hills, y'all. Woodland Hills is like where like working class, middle class, upper middle class families live. It's like very like normal 9 to 5 small business families. So it would be one thing if he was just flooding random multi-millionaires' lawns because they can just call their gardener, or like maybe inhabit one of their other multi-million-dollar houses. But these were working class people who worked very hard for their homes, and they just had their gardens completely destroyed. Actually, in one video posted from Austin's neighbor, you can see it literally, the amount of water that was splashing from Austin's pool from him using the jet ski, the amount of water, y'all, it looks like there's a flood. It looks like there was a sewage pipe that had burst. It's like a non-stop river of mud and water coming down to this neighbor's house.
Stop!
I thought, okay, these guys are like just clout baiting. These guys are just clout chasing. There's just some random people that are filming water and they're adding like a rage bait caption being like, oh, Austin McBroom did this. It's the McBroom family. They have no proof. Like, there's no way that all this water could be coming from Austin's jet ski. But in the video, you can hear the neighbor screaming stop at exactly 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 26 seconds in their new house tour video.
Stop!
Just look at this. The jet ski, the pool.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How? You've lived in this house for a week and you're already causing thousands of dollars in damage. Your neighbors hate you. Throughout the months of 2019, this is actually not the first time that they've had complaints from the neighbors. Lots of people were complaining about, apparently this is like the second or third or fourth time that Austin did this jet ski water thing. Apparently they had already called the authorities and alerted the city. Catherine and Austin responded. by saying that haters were gonna hate. Smile away through the hate. And it sucks that people are just hating for no reason. They just don't want to see you win. They don't want to see us win. We're the Ace family, we're winning. And they don't want to see us win, Ace family. And of course, because they had an army of loyal fans, everyone just sided with the Ace family. So that brings us to 2020. So 2020 started off strong with, not a lot of people might know this, but the McBrooms actually had their own line of children's drinks, and it was called Silly Juices. So they started their own juice company. It was supposed to be a competitor with like Kool-Aid Jammers. It was aimed at kids. A silly juice, seriously good. I would literally never buy one of these. These don't even look good. They look disgusting. They look like those 50-cent rip-off Dollarama Dollar General drinks that like aren't even kept in the freezer. They're just kept on the shelf. Like, also, what is this branding? What is this logo? This literally looks like homemade Molly water that you buy from the back of some dude's van outside of a rave. Made with real juice, very low sodium, gluten-free. Well, no shit. I don't think juice is supposed to even have gluten to begin with. Obviously, there was no quality control over these. So people who were ordering this online, because it's only available online, by the way, obviously no store would ever carry these because they look disgusting. And I doubt that they passed the FDA guidelines for approval, to be honest, because there was so little quality control. When people were ordering them online, a lot of the cases were bent, damaged, scratched, or the seals were broken and popped off of them. In some cases, people were actually posting photos of their drinks with mold all over them and inside them. You could literally see like black green mold all over the bottles of Silly Juice after they ordered it online. It has 150 calories, 38 grams of sugar, which by the way is 62% of your daily sugar intake. It has 0 vitamins whatsoever, so it's literally sugar water. They say that it's made of juice, but it's not, because juice has a natural presence of vitamin C. Almost any juice that you buy is going to have vitamin C, D, B, or A in it. It has to. It literally has to if it's made with real fruit, because that's what real fruit has in it. So here, they have clearly stripped out any sort of vitamins and any sort of nutritional value whatsoever, and just filled it with water and sugar. All of them are sold out, and you can't get anything except for the Silly Juice merch. If you want a Silly Juice, if you want to rep the Silly Juice tracksuit, you can get a Silly Juice tracksuit merch. Take the site down. You're obviously not FDA approved. You're obviously not allowed to sell these, hence why they're all sold out. Okay, also, I forgot about this. They also had an Ace Family video game that they released. In 2020, they released an Ace Family video game. I am just going to guess that it was also just some stupid scam that got taken down.
So I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you a compilation of all of the gameplay features this game offers, okay? That was it. That was the entire game. That's all it has to offer. I'm not even joking. So basically the gameplay is an arcade version of the basketball game around the world, right? So you shoot and then move to a different position around the 3-point line. That's it. You see, I saw that to unlock the next map, I would need 1,500 coins, which you earn by completing objectives, which I didn't realize for an embarrassing amount of time, and hitting coins with your shots. So I played for however long, got 1,500 coins, and then I found out it would cost 15,000 coins. It costs $70 to unlock a map in a free mobile game without grinding. Really annoying ads play between every round, and once you unlock Miami, I was shocked to find out that this game gets so much more the same. It's literally the same, except now we're in Miami. No new items, no new game modes, just... There is a monthly subscription that has been charging people for 21 months, despite the app not delivering promised updates that are literally part of the pitch for the premium service.
So that is pretty much what they did up until 2021.
We have so much going on for 2021, like big plans that I can't wait to share with you guys.
In this program, I'll be teaching 4 courses.
In 2021, Austin McBroom released his infamous How I Became a Millionaire Buy My Course scam. It was $600 per year for a gold membership, or I think $200 a year for a silver membership, but the silver membership wasn't worth it. Because the silver membership, you only got some exclusive videos and that's it. But the gold membership, you get exclusive merch. You get the chance to be shouted out, and the chance to win a free verification blue checkmark, which What do you mean you're going to verify people? You're going to buy somebody a verification badge? You can't verify people, Austin McBroom. You are not Instagram. So obviously this was like, needless to say, this was a scam. Like, you know, when a celebrity buy my course is not going to give you any useful information when the first class they teach is pick a niche. You got to niche down. You got to pick your niche. What are you good at? What are you passionate about? That is the most like bottom of the barrel advice you could. That's not even advice. You're just telling me to pick a niche for 30 minutes and I paid $600 for this. Also, for some reason, he wouldn't let people check out when they went to purchase his buy my course thing. It was apparently like the worst checkout system that people had ever seen. It kept crashing. I think it would steal people's credit card information and then just crash on them and say that they didn't sign up and they didn't get a spot in his exclusive VIP course. So in this course, he had promised to reveal all the tips and tricks that earned Austin McBroom and his wife Catherine 19 million subscribers from a total of 621 long-form videos in 5 years. I think anyone who posts 621 long-form videos in 5 years will probably blow up at some point. That's a lot of fucking videos. That's 124 videos per year. That's 2 to 3 videos per week. That is a lot to put your children through. That is a full-time job to put your children through. If you want to do your own couples prank channel, fine. But to involve your children in every single video 3 times a week for like an entire day of filming, you're literally like working your children as much as an adult who has a full-time job.
Which is why I'm here today, to teach all of you the secrets to social media and to help you accomplish your dreams. In this program, I'll be teaching 4 courses. The first course is how to grow your social media platforms. The second course is how to make money from social media. The third course is how to start a business. And the last course is how to grow your business. In order to be able to have access to all of these courses, you must join now. You only have 24 hours.
He probably thought he was going to be famous forever. I feel like he strikes me as the type of guy who thinks he's just going to be famous forever and just have it made forever, and this is just your life now. That is almost never possible with any sort of social influence. Usually people expire on social media after about 5 to 6 years these days because there's so many influencers. One of the perks of like this gold membership was that Austin McBroom would show up for weekly webinars and would teach people one-on-one or like group settings. He literally didn't show up. He didn't show up to any webinars. He did not show up to any private chats. He wasn't active in any chat rooms, any communities. It was literally like a pump and dump for like what was supposed to be this big community-driven how to become a millionaire, how to succeed on social media private course. So now in 2021, there was like a brief scandal with Tana Mojo, which if y'all follow the Canceled podcast or like follow any drama channels, you might be wondering what happened between Tana and Austin. It's actually not that much of a story. Pretty much Austin just had lipstick in his car and Tana covered for him saying like, oh, it was my lipstick or something. But it's like the stupidest story. It's like, I don't know why Tana covered for Austin. She mentioned something about why she covered for Austin in Canceled podcast, but it was such a minuscule thing that just got like way too blown out of proportion because I feel like Tana Mojo is huge and anytime she's in any sort of controversy, it always gets blown way out of proportion.
Austin McBroom was cheating on Catherine and the girl he was cheating on her with left a lipstick in his car, and I'm sitting in the car with Jake and we get a call from Catherine or Austin or whoever the fuck we answer it. And it's Austin bawling his eyes out and Catherine absolutely screaming, holding this lipstick inside of their car. And she's screaming and she's like, it's the lipstick, Tana's. Austin says the lipstick's Tana's, blah, blah, blah. Austin's bawling. My dumbass thinks that the right thing to do at the time is save the kids, save the kids. So I lie to Catherine. I'm like, this is my lipstick. It wasn't my lipstick, Catherine. I'm really sorry. But we team Bryce out here on God, so.
In June of 2021, Austin announced that he would be putting together the world's first YouTubers versus TikTokers boxing match. So at the time, TikTok had just blown up because this was 2021. 2020 was when the world shifted to short form content and YouTube views drastically dropped. Meanwhile, TikTok drastically skyrocketed. Like, do y'all remember in 2020? Where we were literally scrolling on our feeds and for some reason every single video had 1 million likes because of how much TikTok blew up. We got a lot of like TikTok stars, one of which was Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall was basically paid promised a payment of I think like $7 million to fight Austin McBroom in this YouTubers versus TikTokers boxing match. It was hosted at this major arena. DJ Khaled performed, the Migos performed, Lil Baby performed. The event cost $20 million to produce, but it only made $6.5 million back in revenue. So that cost over $10 million in debt. And they only received 135,000 pay-per-view buyers. While 15,000 people bought tickets to the in-person event, the stadium that it was held at, the Hard Rock Casino Stadium in Miami, holds 65,000. So that makes the stadium look completely empty, and all the videos of people sitting in the fight and watching the fight were like surrounded by empty seats, and it just looks empty as fuck. Like it looked, I thought that it was a rehearsal. I thought that this wasn't the real event.
Tomorrow night, you are gonna get to see one of the biggest beefs social media has ever seen finally get resolved between Bryce Hall.
Really? The biggest beef that social media has ever seen? Really? The biggest one? The biggest one we've ever seen. So this event, y'all, was a massive financial disaster. Because it was such a financial disaster on Austin McBroom's part, none of the fighters or performers ever got paid. Literally did not receive anything. So each fighter got like a signing bonus, which was like cash up front before they showed up, and it was like $100,000 per person or less. Everyone got that, but nobody made any other money from their fight. Nobody got paid, and obviously you can't just not pay people. So a bunch of people actually got together and they sued Austin's company, which threw the production, called Social Gloves. And I believe Social Gloves is like a subdivision of yet another one of Austin's companies called Simply Greatness Production. So this is weird because Simply Greatness Productions and Social Gloves Productions have the same acronym. So I don't know if this is like a typo or something. And those companies are owned by another one of Austin McBroom's shady companies, an umbrella company called Ace Hat Productions, which owns a bunch of different ones of his companies. So I think what he's doing here is making a bunch of random different companies owned by another company, so that when he runs out of money in one company, he can declare bankruptcy for each individual company without it affecting his personal assets and his personal credit. Social Gloves Productions was sued for $100 million, y'all.
So the two rumors are Social Gloves is bankrupt, which is capped. It's false. It's not true. Everyone that was at the event knows that there was probably like 20,000 people there. Just at the gate alone, we probably made $3 or $4 million. So just that, we're not even talking about pay-per-view numbers. We're not talking about brand deals. We're just talking about at the event. So Social Gloves is not bankrupt at all.
This guy is the CEO of LiveX Live Productions, which is the live stream company that streamed and produced Austin McBroom's fight. So he did an interview explaining the lawsuit and said that Austin refused all business and marketing advice from LiveX Live Productions because he thought, in his words, he was too famous to have to pay for marketing and ads.
Austin was so arrogant and so egotistical about this that he refused to put it on cable and satellite. This is the ultimate, stupid pill in life, which is 98% of every ticket in pay-per-view in the history of pay-per-view that has been sold was sold over cable and satellite.
Which of course led to an extremely low amount of people who paid to watch the fight, which is called pay-per-views.
The second thing is saying that fighters did not get paid. Yes, fighters have not got paid yet, including myself. But that is because LiveX Live. So let me break down LiveX Live and how Social Gloves works, right? Just in case the fans don't really know how boxing events happen, right? So you got Social Gloves, which is the promotion company that put together the event, right? That organized the fights, that put together the event. LiveX Live is a live stream partner. In order for an event to take place, you need a live stream partner, right? Everyone thinks that Social Gloves just did everything. No. Social Gloves partnered with LiveX Live, who live streamed it and collected everybody's money, right? So the reason why the fighters haven't got paid yet is because LiveX Live has been holding on to all the funds. They have not paid Social Gloves one penny. And that's why Social Gloves is suing LiveX Live.
How long do you think it'll take for the fighters to get paid?
No, the remaining money is held at Live by Live.
Okay.
And the reason it's held at Live by Live is that James Harding, Bryce Hall, Taylor all demanded that the money doesn't go to Social Gloves. I don't see how he's what dream he was facing But I can tell you that, all of those people in that first position want to make sure that the remaining money, which is nowhere near what Austin thinks it is, is protected.
What the CEO also explains is Austin committed fraud by promising millions of dollars to each fighter, and in each of their contracts, it said that they were the first person who was going to get paid, which is illegal. You can only promise one person that their payment will be first. This is called a first person. He also had a contract with himself that said that he could get paid first. So literally, he promised $5 million to every single person, including himself, and told every single person, including himself, that they were entitled to get paid first.
I'm just trying to get the money that's left paid out to the right person. So what I asked for, I've asked Austin now. We've asked 50 times. We've asked through his lawyers. Everybody knows the numbers. Everyone knows how much money is left. They just don't know what the waterfall is because Austin got all the fighters to sign an NDA, then signed many of them to a first position. And when you sign to a first position, you legally cannot sign a second person to a first position, right? Is it fraud? Is it breach of contract? Is it worse, right? Those are all question marks. Unless you file bankruptcy, James Harding is in the first position.
Gotcha.
And the man deserves his money. He wrote hard checks. The only one that put up hard money was us and James Harden.
So James Harden is an NBA player that put up an investment of several $1 million to help throw Austin's stupid boxing event. James had a different contract with Austin. James's contract came with a personal guarantee, meaning that if Austin didn't pay James back what he was owed, that James is then entitled to Austin's assets, meaning that Austin McBroom would have to sell his house and his cars in order to pay back James Harden. Which leads me to, is this really a surprise?
If he's got a personal guarantee, he's either taking his house if he owns it. It sounds like from the papers he may not own it. The banks may own it, right? But if he does, and maybe he's taking his Rolls Royce and his Lamborghini and all the fancy cars and so on.
I could not find a result to this lawsuit. I don't think it's been made public yet. It might still be ongoing, but usually when lawsuits kind of just disappear without any sort of settlement, it means that they went bankrupt. This had really, really hit him hard financially, personally. It also really pissed off a lot of people who weren't paid. And for some reason, I don't really know why, but Jake Paul got really pissed off. I think Jake Paul was probably just annoyed that Austin had ruined the sport of boxing, because Jake Paul is a prestigious boxer, MMA god, apparently. I don't really watch him, but according to Forbes, Austin had said that he estimated the event would generate $200 to $500 million when it only generated about $6 million. How do you expect a TikTokers versus YouTubers boxing match to generate $500 million? That's $500 million. This is what's wrong with influencers thinking that they are famous. You might have 19 million subscribers, Austin McBroom, but that is 19 million youths. Youths means that you are not famous. Because in order to be considered famous, I feel like you have to be a household name. Every generation in your household should know you. If every generation in the household knew Austin McBroom, if he was at that level, for example, I Show Speed, or an actual celebrity I don't know, J-Lo or Ariana Grande, maybe it would have generated 30 million at most. But $500 million, sister, are you actually on drugs? Are you drunk? This is a classic case of what is known as misleading the shareholders. And that means that you are blowing up financial estimations and you're making it seem like you're going to make all this money. So you need a big investment and then it flops. And that leads us to foreclosure on the Ace family multi-million-dollar home. Basically, the Ace family had been going through financial hardship since the beginning of 2021, despite the boxing match being thrown in June. Records indicate that the Ace family, Austin McBroom, had not been paying his mortgage on his house for 6 months. So since the beginning of 2021, January, they had not made a single mortgage payment. They had not paid any property tax. They had not paid a bill. I think that it is because he had been saving up all of his money to put towards this boxing match and then didn't recoup what he thought was going to be a smart investment. Halfway through 2021, they received a letter of default on their $10.1 million Los Angeles mansion after failing to pay back $8.7 million to the lender, which is named Five Arch Funding Corporation. The property went into foreclosure, which means that it was seized by the lender and then auctioned off to the highest bidder. So this whole foreclosed upon thing, he had told everyone that it was all a lie. Obviously, his house wasn't getting foreclosed upon. He wasn't getting evicted. At the same time, his house was literally listed on Zillow, foreclosed. I believe it was offered up at like $7 or $8 million. So he was now facing 2 lawsuits at this point. One for the fighters not getting paid, and another one because he had actually defaulted on his mortgage, but also he didn't pay the contractors that he was supposed to be paying to build his house. When he was eventually kicked out of his house, he had claimed that they were just actually buying a bigger house. And like the house they were living in just had like so many issues. It was just so big and so cold, and the heating system never worked, and it was all the contractor's fault because they built the house wrong, and there were so many issues with the house, and it was just a horrible house. It was all a lie. It was like an IKEA house, looks great, nothing worked. So they were selling the house, moving out and buying a bigger, better, more glamorous house. They also swore that they paid the mortgage every month, but documents and records show that they had not made a single payment the entire year of 2021. On top of not paying for their house and not paying the fighters, they also owed money to an exotic car rental service. Apparently, an exotic car rental service had lent them several exotic supercars to use for promoting this like big boxing event they were hosting, and they had never bothered paying back the lenders. So they finally released a YouTube video on their channel titled Our House Story, where in the video they made several claims. Number one, the contractor that they had to build their house, named Avi Koklani, was not a licensed contractor and had lied to them about having a license when really he was using somebody else's license. The second claim they made was they had never had a certificate of occupancy, and that was somehow Avi Koklani's fault. And number three, that the reason Austin's jet ski pool water caused mudslides is because their builder, again, Avi Koklani, didn't build a proper retaining wall around the property, which properties with pools on cliffs are supposed to have like a wall retaining the water for if there's like an earthquake or if water splashes over the side somehow, then a wall will stop the water from causing mudslides. Debunking those claims immediately. Debunking claim number one. So Avi never legally needed a license of contractorness because of some legal contract loopholes that aren't really super important to the story. So he had actually owned the property and built the entire house, and it was all under his name, like he was the owner. Austin and Catherine were going to buy it off of him once the house was already built. He also then contracted out several construction companies to help build the property. So he was just the owner builder of like a development business that essentially builds houses. While the house was under construction, Avi had added Austin and Catherine as officers of his development company called M Development Company. He changed the nature of the business from a construction and development company to entertainment. It was speculated that the reason they were added as officers was to get what was called an owner-builder permit, so that the Ace family could immediately move into the house after it was finished, because in the state of California, Avi would have had to live at that house for a minimum of 1 year before he was allowed to sell it to the Ace family. They filed a public document, what is called a quitclaim deed. It's where the house was basically classified as a gift. And Avi was like legally gifting the house to the Ace family rather than selling the house to the Ace family so that they could avoid property transfer fees and taxes. So instead of paying with their own money in their own wallet, they took out a loan with the bank to pay Avi under the table outside of like a traditional mortgage. And the loan was almost $9 million. It was classified in the contract with the bank as a business loan only, with a condition in the contract that said under no circumstances was the Ace family allowed to live at this house if it was for business purposes. So they obtained the loan under false circumstances, that is mortgage fraud, because they convinced the bank that they were not actually living in this multi-million-dollar house. It was just supposed to be a set for them. If they were caught living there, then the house would be immediately taken away because they would have breached their contract entirely. They would have to give all the money back to the lender, and then find a different way to pay Avi, the contractor. So debunking the claim about the water retention walls. You can literally see the retaining walls that Avi built in this video, in multiple videos. Whenever they show an aerial view of their massive mansion, there's the retaining wall. There's actually two retaining walls here surrounding their property. So I don't know what the hell. And also, Catherine had already said in another video that Avi had taken upon himself to build retaining walls around the property. Y'all really thought that we did not have eyes. They, in this video, also denied the claim that they had not paid their mortgage. Catherine really stood on business with the fact that she pays her bills. However, the Ace family also owned 2 commercial properties in office spaces. Both of them had documents which were disclosed to the public, so it's publicly available documents that they had defaulted on the payments for their commercial properties. So they literally, y'all, had not paid a damn bill this entire year and ran themselves into tens of millions of dollars in debt and over $100 million in lawsuits. By the end of 2021, around Christmas season, they kind of just like shrugged everything off like nothing even happened. And they moved into a brand new multi-million-dollar house, which was, you know, an upgrade from the last house. And they said that it was their new house and it was clocked to be an Airbnb. They had literally rented an Airbnb and made a video titled "Our New House Tour Exclusive" while being in an Airbnb. So that about wraps up 2021 for the Ace family. It was literally their worst year, which brings us to 2022. So what do you do when you owe millions and millions of dollars in debt? What do you do when you owe people a ton of money? What do? You throw another event, Ace Fest, the Ace Fest scam. So Ace Fest was thrown on July 9th, 2022. It was described on their website as Disneyland meets Coachella. Their website said there was supposed to be games, free stuff, merch, contests, rides, music performance, and an exclusive meet and greet with the Ace family themselves. However, Ace Fest was going on at the exact same location and date as the Antelope Valley Summer of Soul Festival at AV Fair and Event Center in Palmdale, California. So admission to the Antelope Valley Summer of Soul Festival was $15. Whereas admission to Ace Fest was $800. Okay, well, technically it was $100 per ticket, but there was a minimum ticket purchase of like 4 tickets. So like minimum you were paying $400, but then like for the VIP family fun, VIP Ace Club package for the Ace Fest, then it like went up as high as $800. It doesn't matter what tier of ticket you got because you got nothing. Because right here in this video, you can see the division between the Antelope Valley Festival and then just across the gate with this empty tent full of empty chairs was Ace Fest. And apparently there was holes in the gate where people were just kind of hopping the gate into the Antelope Valley Summer of Soul Festival, and I guess maybe Ace Fest tried to pass it off as if the Antelope Valley Summer of Soul Festival was also Ace Fest. It wasn't. It was 2 different events. Basically, Ace Fest was just a giant warehouse, an empty windowless warehouse with like a medical tent and a bunch of folding chairs and then merch tents where you could buy more Ace family merch and Silly Juice merch. And people had to wait in line for several hours just to see Austin and Catherine McBroom, who, by the way, also showed up hours late. So 2023, things were pretty quiet for the Ace family because they had actually stopped posting on their Ace family channel. In 2024, they officially announced that Austin and Catherine were getting a divorce. The Ace family was breaking up and the Ace family channel was officially shutting down with no more videos posted. And that brings us to 2024, a messy divorce and Austin's Snapchat meltdown. Pretty much the day that they divorced, Austin started recruiting people for an OnlyFans agency. Girls were reporting and sharing on Twitter and their Instagram stories that they had received weird, creepy DMs from Austin McBroom and Austin's brands, like the brands that he owned, those Instagram pages, being like, "Excuse me, are you signed to an OnlyFans agency yet? I couldn't help but notice that you were independent. Are you with an agency?" To where people just immediately screenshotted this and posted being like, "What the fuck? Why is Austin McBroom literally fresh out of a divorce one day ago messaging me starting an OnlyFans agency?" Apparently, the OF agency was like this weird, sketchy, scammy agency that like his friend was running. So all of these celebrities were recruiting people for this weird, sketchy OF agency that was taking advantage of women that weren't signed yet. Also, he started posting really weird things on Snapchat for attention. It was so unserious that people literally thought, y'all, that their divorce was fake. But people were like, why is this man acting like this when he is straight out of a divorce? Like, is this a joke? Because he's now broke because he didn't have his Ace Family channel, he started doing his like vlogging and pranks and stuff on his own Snapchat story. People just kind of thought like, that he was having a literal mental breakdown. He was posting photos of him crying in the shower, videos of him sniffling, videos of him ranting about Catherine, saying he had a nightmare and a bad dream, that he missed Catherine, that he can't get her out of his head, just for attention and probably like just to get paid because he's broke. Well, he was broke. I don't know if he's still broke, but...
Snapchat fam. Last night was rough for me.
He also won't leave Catherine alone. He tries to buy the house next door to Catherine's house. And when he wasn't sold the house next door to Catherine's house, what did he do? He bought a recreational vehicle, otherwise known as an RV. And where is that RV parked? At Catherine's house. Well, specifically not at Catherine's house, but actually Catherine McBroom's neighbor's house. In fact, Catherine McBroom's neighbor's front yard. How do we know this? Because he shows the RV in a Snapchat story where he also shows Catherine's house. He says, here's my RV. I'm just outside of Catherine's house. Why are you showing Catherine McBroom's house? First of all, you cannot just park a 45-foot motorhome anywhere you want in Los Angeles County. So, lo and behold, the next morning, Austin woke up to a ticket, a violation fine from the Homeowners Association. Neighborhood Watch had reported his motorhome on somebody's front lawn as being sketchy and a threat to public safety. Well, no shit. Who would want a random man living in a motorhome outside of their house in a nice area? This is a nice neighborhood, sir. In the short span of like the week that he was in the RV, he made like 200 different Snapchat stories and videos and vlogs in the RV. He also did this weird skit in the RV where he like got sick in the RV and then like went to the doctor's office and had the doctor take a selfie of him like sitting on the doctor's bed with the caption, "Sick."
Guys, we just made it back to the house. I'm gonna go inside and get some rest. I feel like I gotta throw up. Fuck.
He did like an RV tour on Snapchat where he has a huge stain on his shirt. This is probably the most down bad we've seen Austin McBroom. Even if this is supposed to be like a prank or a skit, you're still spending thousands and thousands of dollars to rent this motorhome to do one of your stupid skits. You are in hundreds of millions of dollars of debt. You have declared bankruptcy and you are joking around, parked in a 45-foot motorhome outside of somebody's house on someone's yard, wearing your ex-wife's bonnet, posted up with a grease stain on your shirt and slippers on, as if it's just nothing to you. You owe millions of dollars, sir. Eventually, his RV got towed. Thank God. And he had a huge meltdown in the middle of somebody else's driveway while someone filmed him.
That boy getting towed.
By the end of 2024, he received yet another lawsuit. This is now the 4th lawsuit and counting that he's got, this time for stalking and breaking and entering. A random girl named Brittany Collinson filed a lawsuit against Austin for stalking and breaking and entering in her house and filming videos that included her address. So she was suing him for breaking and entering in her home and then leaking her address to fans. Do you remember that one video that we literally just talked about where he showed Catherine McBroom's house while he was filming like a minute-long Snapchat rant? So that wasn't actually Catherine McBroom's real house. That was actually this girl named Brittany Collinson's house. So who is Brittany Collinson? Brittany Collinson was one of the contestants on the dating show that he had gone on like a week prior that auditioned to be his next girlfriend. So apparently he had made like a video with her before for her Snapchat story at that house, but he never asked her if he could make RV content on her property. He never even asked her if he could park his mobile home on her yard. He just rolled up and did it. He filmed a video where he pretended to get kicked out of Catherine McBroom's house, but it was actually someone else's yard. So he literally parked his motorhome on this girl's front lawn and then went in the house without anyone being home and filmed the video to make it look like he was living there, and then shared the video on his Snapchat story, which caused a mob of screaming teenagers to show up to this lady's house. Also, in the end of December of 2024, Catherine announced that she finally had a new man, and Austin went on his own podcast. That's right, he started a podcast. I forget what it's called. It's not that important, but he started his own podcast with his brother Landon, who, by the way, like looks a lot like the Tate brothers for some reason. Like I keep looking at him and I'm like, is that Sandshrew Gate? So he went on his own podcast where his brother Landon interviewed him about Catherine and about his divorce with Catherine and how he feels about Catherine's new man. He insinuated on this interview where he interviews himself that Catherine had apparently been cheating on him with her new man, because you know the timeline is the timeline. I'm not going to speak on the timeline, but I've known this man for a long time, and you know the timeline to which they got together is the timeline. I'm not going to speak on it. You know what? Honestly, if I was getting serial cheated on by a man who had an orgy with his own father, I'd probably start looking for replacements too. So good on her. What happened with Austin and his dad is so messed up. Euphoria wouldn't even write about it. So that brings us to now this year, 2025. What the hell happened with Austin and Catherine McBroom? Catherine announced that she was writing a book, a tell-all biography about her life. Basically, the beginning of the book that she was writing got leaked. And usually in biographies, the beginning of the book is like, it's like supposed to be a story to hook you in. I won't read the whole chapter to you because that's, to be honest, like that's a lot of reading. But basically what she said, like the pages in her book that got leaked, was talking about how Austin had brought his mistress to a charity basketball game that they were hosting, and that she found out about all of his cheating and that he had broken his vows. So a little bit of background on this. Every year, the Ace family would host a basketball charity event. Whether or not the funds were actually given to charity is up to your discretion. There was no actual like public record of there being any sort of donation to charity. At this basketball game, one of these games, there is footage of a blonde woman walking the sidelines in stilettos that Catherine names in her book a puzzle piece that didn't fit into a picture. And she had no idea who that blonde woman was. She didn't get why she was there. She wasn't invited. And then later found out that that was Austin's mistress. So Austin's mistress then comes forward about that on TikTok and shares her whole story about how she knew Austin, how Austin had invited her to this basketball game, and how Austin had told her that Catherine was like this mean lady, and apparently knew the whole time that Austin was cheating on her and gave him permission to be with other women as long as he didn't embarrass her, which Catherine says is absolutely absurd.
I'm in trouble, Austin. Does your wife know that you cheat on her every weekend? Does she know that you message every single girl on Instagram trying to get in there?
So I'm sure by the last video you know exactly who I'm about to talk about. Anyway, so a couple months ago, I get a DM from him on Instagram just asking me if he could send me stuff from his clothing brand, and I was like, of course. Like, I knew who he was. Like, I had never talked to a celebrity. Like, I was pretty new to doing like collabs and stuff at the time. So I was like, oh my gosh, he really just messaged me. Like, I was just like stoked. So here was our conversation on Instagram. I mean, it was just typical like collab DM. I did find it a little weird and unnecessary that he needed to text me afterwards. So we text, he asks me if I'm going to be in LA anytime soon. And I'm like, yeah, I can be in LA if it means you personally hand me the package, of course. So I go to LA by myself, and I'm gonna have to do part 2, so things got weird pretty fast. I was told a lot of things that weren't true. I was offered brand deals like aloe. You know, I was told that him and her were separated and just continued to make content for the kids and the viewers and just all that the situation was. I genuinely wish I had a fresher memory on the story now, but this was 4 years ago, so that I could tell you, you know, things that were said like word for word. And I'm gonna be honest, as I obviously take full accountability for what happened, I was very vulnerable at the time.
So when these pages of Catherine's book was leaked, Austin went straight to Snapchat and posted a 31-minute Snapchat rant. And if you are wondering, yes, there were ads in the middle of it every 30 seconds. His hairline is so noticeable in this, it honestly kind of looks like he's wearing a toupee, by the way. But he said that he felt blindsided about Catherine's book and accused her of writing that he's a terrible husband and a terrible person while he's begging for sympathy and crying on camera. Okay, well, if you don't want to be featured in a book, then maybe don't traumatize somebody to the point where they have to write a literal book about what you did to them. Although the book, to be clear, the book wasn't even about Austin. It was about herself and her life. It was just the first few pages that were about Austin. But Austin, because he makes things all about himself, thought that the entire book was only about Austin McBroom. Thus his 31-minute Snapchat rant where he calls her completely uncredible and a huge liar, and she's just lies on lies on lies. She's not telling the full story. Everything's exaggerated. Her book is a book full of lies. Then proceeds to what he thinks is exposing her when everyone already knows at this point that he is a cheater.
So it left me with no choice but to make my own video. I decided to make my own YouTube video, and in that video, I basically exposed myself. And it's crazy because I still have that video today, which I'm going to show you guys right now. Here's the video. The video is over 30 minutes long, so obviously I'm not going to share the whole video, but I'm just going to share a short snippet to show you guys that I did make this video. It caused me to seek it elsewhere. It caused me to make bad decisions. I admit, I've failed as a husband. Long story short, she didn't want me to post it, and this is what she had to say about it. So I'm saying, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, but do I have to worry about like you, like saying something like after and stuff?
No, you just say
Okay, I'm just.
you weren't happy.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Like say what you said in your video. I just think the video would have been you would have had a lot of backlash. I think this way is much more organic.
And I was in the room, in the office room, and I was watching it, and just blunt, like honest to God, I was watching the video and I thought, this is like social suicide. Like, I genuinely feel like this is gonna make him look so bad, and I love Austin no matter what, and I care about him, truly. So I'm thinking, if he couldn't at least say the truth, because people love truth. Yeah. People love when people are honest and vulnerable, and he wasn't doing that. It was like he was going around the truth.
Why do you think he recorded you?
I think he was never planning on posting the video. I think he made it knowing he wasn't gonna post it, but made it so that, because he knew I wouldn't like it, because he knows me. He knows me. He's been living with me, married to me for years. I'm the mother of his children. Right. And I think he recorded me almost purposely to get those words out of me so that maybe later in the future, if he ever needed it.
I don't even want to watch this because I'm going to get angry. This man, I can't with this man. I can't with this man. And this was the first time, by the way, that he had ever said that he cheated. Before this rant, he had never acknowledged to Catherine that he had ever cheated. He just literally gaslit her. So after this rant was posted, Catherine then goes on Call Her Daddy podcast. This was 2 weeks ago. She starred on Call Her Daddy. And here are some of the things that she said on Call Her Daddy about Austin McBroom. Throughout their marriage, Austin would spend 6 figures randomly on things without Catherine knowing. She would check the bank account and see hundreds of thousands of dollars just missing. And when she asked him about it, he would like kind of shut down and not really give her an answer of what he spent it on. Like he would just be like, oh, business or whatever. They also made really bad business decisions and ended up spending all of their money that they had earned from YouTube. She said when she lost the house, it completely broke her. And she had no idea that they were losing it. Austin had kept it a secret from her that they were receiving notices that they were defaulting on their mortgage. She said the first time that she found out about cheating was during Vlogmas in like the Ace family daughter's first haircut, when I think Alaia got her haircut for the first time. Her phone died. She asked Austin for his phone. And as he handed her his phone, a big text message came through from his mistress saying, if you really loved your wife, you wouldn't be doing any of this. Austin grabbed the phone from her hand, deleted the text, and then literally gaslit her and refused to answer any questions about the text or about the mistress. So this man was having an entire emotional affair with another woman. Austin tried to justify his serial cheating for a lack of sex in their marriage. So according to Catherine, she stopped having sex with him after she found out that he was cheating the first time, because her body was a temple and she, you know, respectably did not want to be intimate with a man who was being intimate with a bunch of random women, including somebody with his own father. She was not intimate with him, y'all, for 5 years. He thinks it is okay to go cheat with a bunch of women and then tell people that Catherine knew about him cheating and that she was okay with it. After this episode came out, a ton of people, like random baddies, came forward and shared screenshots, text messages, stories, Snapchats, TikToks about their experiences with Austin McBroom trying to hook up with him in public while he was married to Catherine. So now we have literally tons of women coming forward saying that they were hit on by Austin McBroom. They were in fact victimized, personally victimized by Austin McBroom. So now what is Austin McBroom up to these days? What is he up to today? So currently he has a new girlfriend named Alexa that looks like Catherine McBroom, but in like a lowercase font. His net worth also dropped from a whopping 22 million to reportedly 2 million, which I doubt it's even 2 million, because how, like, your net worth is like your assets minus your debt. So like, wouldn't his net worth technically be like negative $100 million? His main income right now is Snapchat stories, Instagram, OnlyFans agency recruitment, and his podcast that he has with Landon. He did start a new YouTube channel titled Austin McBroom Live. However, it only has 14,000 subscribers, despite posting vlogs literally every single day for the last 65 days. And his bogus ass companies, Social Gloves or M Constructions or whatever, are still millions of dollars in debt and pretty much virtually bankrupt. And that, y'all, is Austin McBroom. So here is my take on the situation. I think that he's just an idiot. There's no other word. That's all I have. I think he's just an idiot. Sometimes I go in on people and I'm like, okay, this person has narcissistic traits. They have narcissistic tendencies. You know, sometimes I like to kind of do a little bit of like psychological deep dive. In this case, I think that Austin McBroom is just an idiot. Literally, y'all, I have no other words. Who does this? He is very clearly a scammer. That's no secret, y'all. What is this, like 12, 13 companies he's made that he's scammed people on? Everything that he has put out has been a scam. He has not had one single success in his entire 9-year social media journey. He has not had one legitimate business with profit besides the AdSense that he was making from literally exploiting his children. This man has no idea how to run a business. You know how to scam people, you know how to trick people, you know how to lie, and you're hoping that if you lie hard enough that your child fan base will not catch you because it is a die-hard fan base. Well, guess what? The children that were watching you 9 years ago have grown up. They're not kids anymore. So that means that you're not fooling anybody. We can see through your lies. We can see through your manipulation tactics, which suck, by the way. If we can see through them, it means they suck. So, oh my God, I said I was going to be nicer. I realized I'm just like roasting the shit out of him. I have nothing good to say about Austin McBroom. I have nothing positive to say at all. Even the times when he's supposed to be doing good, he just does bad. Even the charity events. I literally just don't see how his career could possibly come back from everything that he's done. I literally don't. And I must not be the only one, because this man used to have 18 million subs, y'all. He's down from 18 mil to 14,000. If that isn't down bad, I don't know what is. And Austin McBroom might actually be one of the first people that is literally just canceled. Not just because of all the horrible things he put his wife and his kids through, but just because Austin McBroom sucks. All right, y'all, if you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. Comment bankrupt so I know y'all are OGs and made it to the end. And comment more ideas for topics down below, especially who my next deep dive victim should be. Who is the next victim? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below so I know y'all also enjoyed this video. And feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, because I post new videos just like this one every Friday and Sunday morning. But that is enough from me, y'all. That is enough from me. I can't watch this man anymore. I'm going to lose my marbles. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I will see y'all in the next one.